Hey guys, it is Super Electivire here, and I will be bringing you another Pokemon set. The last one actually went really long, even longer than I expected. So I don't know how long this one's gonna take, but it's okay. Alrighty, so in honor of summer, we have a fire type here today, and it is Heatmor. He is the Anteater Pokemon. This guy actually has potential. He's very underused, but we should get into stat analysis and we'll see how great he is. Of course, every Pokemon has their bad stats and their good stats, and it just depends on what type he is and what stats he has to see whether or not he is usable. So we'll get into that next. Alright, so if you look, those are his stats. Notice his base HP is 85, his attack is 97, his defense is 66, special attack is a 105, special defense is 66, and his speed is 65, bringing it up to a total of 484. Now, that base stat total is not the best in any way, but, I wouldn't say it's the best stat-wise. So yeah, those are his stats. They aren't really anywhere close to good. His HP is mediocre. I mean, he's no Chansey or even Blissey. His attack is only decent. Only 97 is decent, but it's not like not the best. His defenses aren't good at all. His speed is very slow, but his special attack is good, but if you know, it's only 8 above his attack, so it's not the best. So his stats don't look that great, but at least the special attack is over 100. I mean, guys, he has some great special offensive moves. This allows him to hit very hard while using his a little bit higher special attack stat. This is a set that you should probably run in the sun, just because when it's in the sun, he will be doing more damage. So let's take a look. So first of all, we will start with natures. I had messed this up in the previous video, and that stinks. But with the low speed stat, the only thing you can really run is modest, which is raising your special attack and lowering your attack. Because we will be running a special offensive set, so that means that we will not be using his attack. I may decide to do a physical Heatmor later set, or that didn't even make any sense, but I may decide to do a physical set later. So we will be taking advantage of his base 105 special attack by maximizing his special attack by doing modest. So, alright guys, so we will be changing the order of everything since the last video, as you will see if you watch the last video, which was the Metagross set. This will make sense later if you get it, but I'm not going to explain very much. So we are actually going to work on EVs now. So to maximize your special attack stat, of course, you will be running 252 special attack. And because of your low speed, 252 HP will help you survive longer. 4 defense or 4 special defense will finish your EVs. Of course, if you decide to run an assault vest set with this guy, then of course make sure you do 4 defense, just to cover your defense just a tiny bit. HP will be making up the majority of your defensive Heatmor, although he is not defensive in the least. But just because he's slow, that's why you run more defensive set, because there's no point in running 252 speed, because he will not be outspeeding anything. Probably even with the Choice Scarf. Alright, so this might seem weird right now, but I'm just going to go over partners really quickly. Of course, you want sun support with this guy. I mean, it's not completely necessary, but it will help you so much. So if you can get sun support, this works so much better. Charizard Mega Y will actually be your best partner. But if you don't want to take up a Mega slot, Ninetales works as well, because they both do have the Drought ability. Groudon is your best option actually, because it has the best defenses, and it does not take up your Mega slot. But it is Ubers, and it is a legend, so that won't work very well in a tournament, because you'll just be bringing in Groudon like, yeah, I'm gonna beat everybody, and he's not even gonna be allowed in. So that's gonna be a problem if you decide to run Groudon. So that will probably just be used over Wi-Fi and stuff. So yeah, definitely do not plan to have Groudon on your team, but he is one of the best options. In addition, there are Pokemon with the ability Storm Drain. And they're awesome because you can switch into water attacks and get the boost. But just watch out because the Sun will actually lower their water type attacks power. So if you're running like Surf or Hydro Pump on one of these Pokemon, it will be nerfed because Sun will lower the power of their water type moves. So just be careful when you're using Storm Drain Pokemon, but they will actually take the water attacks for Heat more. And they have an immunity to them. So that is so they are actually pretty helpful for your super effective to cover your let me rephrase that, to cover your okay, why am I blanking out? But the water types with Storm Drain ability are basically just there to cover your super effective your weakness to fire. I'll just say that. But and also they can be very good walls, especially like Gastrodon, very good. So yes, in addition, the last category, I guess you could say, would be flying or levitate Pokemon, like Charizard Y actually. So Charizard Y is actually a decent alternative, or actually it's a decent partner. However, just note that you're both fire types. But it is perfect because when you want to switch into an incoming ground attack, or I mean, if you want to dodge an incoming ground attack, you'll basically, if you're using Charizard Y, you'll renew the Sun because it was nerfed, so it will only last 5 turns. Wreck some Havoc, maybe make them faint, and then also Heatmor will still be surviving. Other levitate or flying type Pokemon include Gengar, who is able to deal some major damage as like a revenge killer almost because you're having to switch. Because he is actually very good. Rotom Wash, if you're going to run a different set than standard set, because you've got the Sun, so maybe something along the lines of don't use Hydro Pump. And even Air Balloon Pokemon are actually pretty good too, like Aegislash or Excadrill, but again, just watch out for the Sun because Fire-type moves will be dealing a lot more damage in the Sun, so Aegislash will not be such a good wall, and Excadrill will be 1-KO'd very, very, very easily. So yeah, those are your partners. Moving on. So next we'll be going over his moves. Number 1 will have to be either Flamethrower or Fire Blast. This is basically your main stab move, similar to Metagross's Psychic or Psyshock. Flamethrower is basically for accuracy, whereas Fire Blast will give you a lot more power. This is standard stuff. Most Pokemon have the choice of running Flamethrower or Fire Blast, but to kind of show you guys power difference, I guess, here are some damage calculations for you guys. I basically just put this into, never mind. I think I did damage calculations a little bit worse than the last video, but of course that was my first ever video, so, trial and error, I guess. So this time I will be getting rid of all of the damage calculations, so if you would like to, keep them, maybe just pause the video or something, but I'll read them off. Basically, once you have 252 special attack, as shown with the EVs, I'm basically using the same EVs, 250 special attack Heatmor, using Fire Blast, versus a 252 HP, 252 special defense, Assault Vest Ferrothorn. In the Sun, is a guaranteed 1-KO. So that is like, wow. Like, seriously, you're facing a 252 HP, 252 special defense, Assault Vest Ferrothorn in the Sun. Now, you do have a 4 times, he does have a 4 times weakness to Fast, so that's why. And in addition, you're in the Sun, and that boosts your power. So that's why you need to be in the Sun, because you can defeat Ferrothorns very easily. Also, basically the same thing, Heatmor using Flamethrower against the same person in the Sun is still a guaranteed 1-KO. So that is that is just some interesting information for you guys, I guess. So yeah. So next up we have the second move, and of course this is like standard, guys. The second move will be Solar Beam. So basically, this will be right in the Sun. So you better have Sun support for this, pretty much. Basically, it will take 1 turn in the Sun instead of the normal 2 turns, and will also take care of those water types. Fast water types will pretty much 1-KO you before you can hit them, but in the bulky ones might take 2-hit KO or 3-hit KO. It just depends on the Pokemon, really. So you should probably just plan not to use this one too much, mostly for neutral coverage. If Flamethrower or Fire Blast does not work, this will hit those rock types, those ground types, which will hit you pretty hard, especially if they're rock ground, which means they'll take 4 times weakness, and you will probably want to KO them. It also has a base power of 120, which is awesome, and in addition, it will hit bulky water types. Just watch out for the fast ones, but bulky water types will probably be able to. You'll probably be able to hit them at least maybe a 3-hit KO at most, but I'm not sure. I will pull up some damage calculations next, but just to show you guys. Alright guys, so for this damage calculation, we have 252 special attack Heatmor, again, same EVs that I'm giving you, using Solar Beam versus a 252 HP, 252 special defense Slowbro. And it is a guaranteed 2-hit KO after Slowbro uses Leftovers Recovery, which I'm pretty sure almost all will be running. I don't think many will be running Assault Vest. It is possible, however, and Assault Vest will probably make it like a 4-hit KO. Maybe a 3-hit KO. I'm not sure. But this will definitely be, this is fine. I happen to think Slowbro is pretty good, actually, as a wall, I mean. So I think this is a great damage calculation to show how much his Solar Beam will do. But it is definitely not your best move because you do not get stabbed. Of course, if it was a Fire Grass and you get stabbed from Solar Beam, it would actually probably want a KO. So I would say keep your main coverage move to Flamethrower, but Solar Beam will definitely prove to be powerful. Alright, so for your third one, you actually get a choice. You may not actually get Sun support, so you may have to set it up yourself. So you may want to actually run Focus Sash instead. Although this is not recommended, you can run Focus Sash and then to set up Sunny Day, but you're probably too slow anyway, so I actually do not recommend running Focus Sash. So basically set up Sunny Day on a switch, or maybe excuse me. Just set it up on a switch, or maybe if you're against an opponent like a Carnivine, who uses those anyways. But basically somebody who can't harm you at all. Just you have the chance to set up Sunny Day. So you also get Focus Blast. So Focus Blast is actually very powerful, and it provides decent coverage in addition to Solar Beam and Flamethrower. Honestly, it isn't needed because its accuracy is horrible, and Flamethrower and Solar Beam should pretty much be hitting everything that Focus Blast hits, except for maybe normal types. Its coverage might not be needed. You may also choose to run Hidden Power, but its power was nerfed to base 60, so that's probably not the best thing to run. So Sunny Day may have to be set up manually. So here's your spot to use it. Unless you're afraid of normal types, you can run Focus Blast or Hidden Power. I also have a damage calculation for this one. Of course, I cannot run a damage calculation for Sunny Day, and you kind of already saw that because Solar Beam helps if you have the damage calculation, otherwise it would take 4 turns. Sorry, Solar Beam helps if you have Sun, because otherwise it would take 4 turns to KO Slowbro. And also Flamethrower and Fire Blast need the Sun in order to actually KO that Ferrothorn. So Sun is very much needed, so I guess I already have damage calculations for that. So I will be doing damage calculations on the other one. Alright guys, so here's your damage calculation. Same Heatmor, using Focus Blast against 0 HP for Special Defense Darkrai. It has a 75% chance to 1-hit KO, which is actually better than Fire Blast. However, Fire Blast still beats Focus Blast in Sun. So Fire Blast will be providing basically everything Focus Blast can provide, because actually this is the standard Sweeper Darkrai set. So Focus Blast has a 75% chance to 1-hit KO. However, Fire Blast in Sun only has a 93% chance. In addition, Fire Blast without Sun will actually 1-hit KO, or actually it will actually 2-hit KO. So that is your choice whether or not you want to actually run Focus Blast. I think Sunny Day is a decent alternative, especially if your Sun guy, just in case your Sun guy faints or something. But Focus Blast is definitely there, especially if you want to run Assault Vest or something. Because a lot of these items, like choice specs, it will prevent you from using Sunny Day unless you want to waste a switch or something. So yes, Focus Blast is a decent alternative as you get as it will give you an attacking move instead of a status move. However, Focus Blast actually does not provide too much too much more or that much more coverage than like Fire Blast or something. So that's up to you guys. Especially normal types can actually be hit harder, I believe, by Focus Blast. Just watch out that in Sun, Fire Blast will probably hit more. Flamethrower is going to be weaker than Fire Blast, so it might have about the same or less than Focus Blast, but I believe it's less than Focus Blast. So if you're running Fire Blast, I'm not sure if you actually need Focus Blast, but Flamethrower will definitely be good with Focus Blast. So, but it's really up to your opinion, guys. So moving to the last move, so it's Belch. This is just here because it is very powerful, and he does not have the best special move pool, actually. It has decent coverage against fairies and that sort of stuff. It is as powerful as Focus Blast, and it hits 90% of the time. So I believe Belch is actually going to be more useful than Focus Blast. However, they do have the condition that you have to have eaten a berry. You have to have eaten a berry that battle. So you basically have to eat a berry before you can use the move Belch. Otherwise, it would just say it failed or something. So the weird thing is that nobody has damage calculations for Belch, so I do not have any. So I just moved everything up. So there it is. But that brings us to the ability, and we'll go over that right now. So it does have a couple of decent abilities, and so I'll explain them. Let's see. The first one, it happens to be Gluttony. You know, the stuff that those annoying Pantors, Pansage, Panseers are, you know. Nobody ever uses it really in competitive battling. All it does is eat its berry early. So moving on to the second. Wait a minute. We were just talking about Belch, right? So Belch plus Gluttony. That equals. Oh gosh. Okay, so Gluttony will actually activate his berry early. So you have a higher chance of using Belch later. Now this is a very, very, very gimmicky set. But it's awesome actually. It's just like perfect. But the only problem is it might not activate, or you might die before you actually get to use Belch. So that is it's complete. It's a complete gimmick set. So just I guess I specialize in those. Like last time Metagross, that was gimmick too. But you may try to run Gluttony with Belch, and that's what this whole set is about. So basically, you can run Gluttony, and you will be holding the berry, and it will let you use Belch earlier. Now, I don't think this matters that much, because the other abilities have very redeeming qualities as well. So as I was saying, they have very redeeming qualities as well. Because the second ability happens to be Flash Fire. Now, a lot of Pokemon actually use Flash Fire in competitive battling, unlike Belch, because it provides fire immunity. So this helps you switch into those fire moves, so it can help your Aegislash, your Roserade, your Ferrothorn, whatever. Mostly Steel and Grass types, but it allows a switch into fire move, and it will boost your fire move. So if you have a really strong Flamethrower in the Sun, it will basically boost your Flamethrower, especially in the Sun, or even without in the Sun, because it will boost it to enough levels where it's basically a Flamethrower in the Sun. So that allows you, it especially helps your Flamethrower and makes your Fire Blast like overpowered. So that is pretty good actually. So if you do not really care about using Belch, or you don't want to use Belch, definitely do not use Gluttony. Flash Fire is your ability to go if you are not using Belch. So make sure you use Flash Fire if you are not using Belch or do not plan to use it in battle. Gluttony, I think, is better if you're using Belch, and so if you have Flash Fire, it is definitely great as well. So moving on to the third ability, it's White Smoke. So this used to actually be Torkoal's signature ability, I guess. So the other two abilities are better. But in my opinion, having no stat reductions is pretty good as well. This is like Clear Body for Metagross. White Smoke, it's decent. I still think that Flash Fire or even Gluttony, those two abilities are much better than White Smoke. However, if you let's say you're battling your friend and he always uses this Pokemon where it basically lowers your defenses by 6 in like somehow in one move, or lowers your attack. Let's say they love to use Confide. Well, if you bring this guy in, you can switch into that Confide, and you won't really care, then you can go ahead and beat up that Pokemon. So White Smoke definitely has its uses, but I think that Flash Fire and Gluttony, even those two are just superior to White Smoke. But if you want, you may choose to use it. So coming next is Item. Oh, sorry, you can't really see White Smoke very well, but it's all Heatmore's fault. But next is Item. So you'll actually need a berry if you want to use Belch. So if you don't want to use berry, I mean, I'll put other items in the other options part, which I will be doing in this video. But if you are going to use a berry, well, which berry do you use? I mean, really, Citrus Berry is good. I mean, it'll heal you. Lumberry will work, but actually, Lumberry isn't that great. Because you don't want to have to rely on status. Alright guys, so something crashed. So I'm back here, but anyways, I'm just going to be using this background now, just because. Anyway, so it doesn't really matter which item you do, just do whatever you feel that will boost its highest potential. Citrus Berry I actually recommend. Do not use Lumberry, just because you have to have status in order for belts to work, basically. Like, don't use Persianberry, don't use Rostberry, none of those like Lumberry type stuff. You can choose using, I also would not recommend Custap Berry, but you can choose any berry pretty much, anything else, like Mago Berry, I think that's okay. But basically just try it out. I think Citrus Berry is the best, but you may decide to do something else. So yeah. So moving on, we're at counters now. Basically, everything faster that has neutral coverage against him is a potential counter or check. His defenses are just not there. I mean, anything will work. Just if you want to counter this guy, basically anything will work. Just don't use Caterpie. Seriously, that's how bad it is. So yeah, that's not very good for this guy. He does hit hard though, so definitely if you want power, this guy's definitely good. Just watch out for his defenses. To tell you the truth, if you look at the list of potential counters, it is like heartbreaking. Like, it's like 30 pages long. But anyways, we'll go to other options now, and I'll start typing. So basically, he is very underused. If you haven't noticed. So there are actually many different paths that you can use, because there's not like a certain way that people like to run it, because it worked very well. There are many unique, crazy sets. Most people run something else instead, like Infernape or Blaziken or something. That's why there's not a set path. So you may choose to run a Life Orb, Heat Rock, just in case you don't like Belch or something. You may choose to run Life Orb or Heat Rock. You can try finding another coverage move instead of Belch. So that will definitely help if you do not have Life Orb or Heat Rock. And definitely don't forget, if you aren't going to use Belch, don't run Gluttony, okay? You may try running Focus Blast if you aren't already using it in the other move slot. You can try Hidden Power, although its power is bad. Life Orb will give you more power. Back to the items, of course. But just watch out for your HP drops. You're going to be taking a lot of damage if you use this guy, so just watch out. Heat Rock will make the sun longer if you are running Sunny Day, so that's very nice as well. You may also choose to run Choice Specs, but make sure you aren't running Sunny Day. Assault Vest might work, but again, you cannot run Sunny Day, so just watch out for that one. Let's see, you could try running Choice Scarf and Timid, but that won't outspeed too much. I mean, you could try raising his speed stat. I mean, run Timid, put Choice Scarf, do 252 speed, EVs, change his base stat speed to like 200. Oh wait, you can't do that. Oh well, this guy will never get faster actually, so basically you just gotta focus on power when you're using this guy. Well, I've got it. Well, why don't you just use Infernape, Emboar, Blaziken, Charizard, Arcanine, even Typhlosion's okay, Houndoom, Chandelier, or Talonflame. There are so many other fire types to use. I would say that he has potential, but he's definitely not one of the better ones to use. I mean, almost all fire types are like better than this guy. I mean, this guy could like literally do well in Little Cup. Like seriously, that is interesting. But so just an overview again: run Modest Nature, make you go and Make sure you use Gluttony if you're using Belch, and make sure you're using Flash Fire if you're not. Remember, White's a decent alternative. You just do not like stat lowering. In addition, your move, Flamethrower or Blast. You got Solar Beam, you got Sunny, you got Focus Blast, and you also have Belch. Those are just a couple of his moves. He does not have a special move pool, so those are some of the best you can find. In addition, you want to run 252 HP, 252 special attack, and you also want to run, maybe 4 defense or 4 special defense. Of course, running Assault Vest, make sure you do 4 defense instead of 4 special defense. Although his defenses are so low, you could totally go for special defense anyways. Partners, remember, you got to go Storm Drain Pokemon, Flying Levitate Pokemon, or you can go with the Pokemon that set up Sun. Those are very helpful. In addition, actually, I think that's about it. So, item, make sure you go berries, like Citrus Berry if you're going to go Belch. And, of course, other options are Life Orb, Heat Rock, Choice Specs, Assault Vest, completely getting rid of Heat War. That won't work. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys like these sets. Please subscribe if you actually do. These are actually very long, so Arnesh is very good for very short videos. His videos are like 7 minutes-ish. Like, I take like 40, 30. So if you want really quick videos, very fast and good explanations also, go ahead and check out his. I will put the link down in the description below. So sorry it crashed and everything. I don't even know what happened. I mean, like, my computer's fine, but it crashed, like Shockwave, Adobe, or whatever it is, crashed or something. So that is why it just kind of messed up videos.